right in now.
New quarterback is in there as well for the Packers. Handoff goes to Wilson. That's good for a gain of 8. And Taylor Elgserma is now the quarterback in the game for the Green Bay Packers, and his story is unique. He played U Sports. That's what they call college sports in Canada. He won the Canadian Heisman last year and was the second Canadian player ever invited to play at the Senior Bowl this winter. He and Sean Clifford could be in a battle for the third quarterback position. Flag comes in behind the play. 3rd and long, and it's a handoff, and the Colts obviously were ready for it. Wilson, the ball carrier.
He's going to be that guy.
Flag thrown. Elgserma. Catch made. Hard to hide out there. Out of the backfield, Wilson gets past the linebacker. 1st down and more. Lowers the shoulder at the 20-yard line. Bit of a coverage breakdown by the Colts.
Yeah, that's a really bad snap by Alube. Basically, you got to use that sidelines and pin him here. You know, he's out in his zone. He's back in his zone. Now, here he comes. He's got the angle. He's got to use that sidelines, and he undercuts it and gives up a big play here in 2 minutes.
Womack ends up making the tackle before Wilson picks up 32 yards. And flag, throw, catch is made, but 3 remaining in the half. With that, a handoff. Get back the penalty yards. Israel up at 5 defensive backs inside of the 5. Surprise, surprise. Flag is thrown again. That is good for a 1st down. Clock.
Corners that, you know, are in the mix now because of our injuries, and they've held up pretty doggone well, actually, tonight.
Lamons has been tremendous. We've seen Edwards get plenty of reps, just like practice for the Colts this week. On the handoff, Abanikanda will get a yard or 2 at most.
And I like that solid inside front right there. Again, one of my biggest concerns is to make sure we have depth in that interior.
Well, as we have talked about, there are so many great Irsay family traditions that are being carried on by the next generation for the Indianapolis Colts. And one of them is joining us in the booth for a good chunk of a preseason game. We are thrilled to welcome the owner and CEO of the Indianapolis Colts, and Carly Ers. Gordon. Carly, it's a pleasure to be with you, and I've been with the team since 2012. Rick's been here since 1982. He gets to ask the first couple of questions.
No question about it, Carly. I'm thrilled that you're carrying on your father's tradition. My good friend of 43 years, and I'm going to congratulate you on a seamless transition. It really has been. And I think I'm going to ask you the first question, which probably has to do with that. How important was it to grow up in that football family when, you know, life was the Colts? And what has that meant to you as you take over this operation?
Well, I think it's meant a lot. And to your point about the seamless transition, I think my sisters and I, we had the blessing to grow up in this business and to do a job where we get to play a game and entertain people and inspire them. And I think being able to grow up with our dad as a mentor, and he was a mentor, our father, my boss, but, you know, ultimately he really encouraged us to just find our own niche, and just, he was a big proponent in the school of life, because as you know, there's no coaching college or coaching academy, or a lot of these jobs you have to learn by doing them. And I think when you get in and get your hands dirty, and that's what my dad always encouraged us to do, it just made it that much easier. You know, harder that, you know, he's up there and we can talk to him anytime we want, but it's just been amazing and incredible.
You know, I've had the privilege, the honor and the privilege to work for 3 generations of Ersas, okay? And not your grandfather, nor your father, who was a great X&O football guy, ever was in position meetings, was on the sidelines, right in the midst of the huddle for every practice, and is down on that field with headsets on for real. How, you know, why and how important is that to you And why have
capital that our family's investing in. And I, over the years, and probably when we hired Chuck was when I first realized, being a part of that interview process, that I knew at a high level what goes in there and be all in. And I, like, even with our new defensive staff, they've been outstanding, and they understand what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to learn, and I'm trying to, ultimately, my sisters and I, we want to help. We want to be a resource to have everyone be successful.
You know, in your mind, going into this 22 season, what level of success will it take?
And then when you relate it to the standard, you know, winning is really, it's just an outcome. You know, you could win and be not very good. You know, you could have a not great team and win some games. You could lose some games and be an amazing Super Bowl team. I think being the best is more about, we can look at last year and in retrospect, okay, like, what was working, what wasn't working. Like, I love Gus, but it was time to move on from Gus. You know,
yep.
And certain player, like bringing on Cam. They discuss it, and I think they make better decisions because they each have there's nothing that, like, makes the good things rise to the surface better than competition. And I think having Daniel in here with,
because of it, is, you know, our defense slipped to 29th last year, slipped down.
I mean, like, you see Leatu, I mean, we've got all these, we're setting better edges, we're playing more aggressive, and I always think a great sign is when it has to be player coach led as far as holding accountability, and the players, you know, are really responding. I think they really respect Lou, because he will correct you if you are. But I think most players, they really want to be coached, and they want to be coached consistently.
55 season. Handoff goes to Amar Johnson. Second down.
You know, this is a small thing. Great effort, because you're seeing guys fight for their livelihood. I mean, you're out there trying to win a job, either on this team, in the league, on a practice squad. You know,
Elgserma has been getting the ball for the Packers since the second quarter. Has a man. Flag is thrown. Again, we have said that way too much, going in both directions in today's game. This flag is going against the Colts. Elgserma is buying time, and Isaiah Land got to him first. He will get positive yardage. He'll be knocked down right around the 50-yard line. Second down.
Isaiah Land is a guy that just, you know, continues to make a few plays and hang in there on this ball club.
For Isaiah, he is in his third year with the team. Was waived by the Cowboys at the end of 2023 camp, and has been on the handoff. It is Amar Johnson, last year as a Bruin.
Again, because of the plethora of injuries that we have at corner, you know, you got to study these guys really close.
Timeout taken by the Packers. This fourth down attempt when we come back to Lucas Oil Stadium.
For real tight man-to-man coverage here in this situation, bring one of those safeties down to protect you inside. See if we can turn a little bit of a pass rush loose.
Line to gain is the 44. And Shami, the bull rush, catch made. First down and more. Taken down inside of the 30-yard line. Cornelius Johnson on the grab. Give him a gain of the play of 18.
Yeah, this is a big throw and catch right here on a fourth down situation. Colts actually went to zone, which was, you know, surprising. Gave him just a little bit of a crack right there. Nice throw.
Cornelius, in his second year in the league, has 1 year experience out of Michigan. Elgserma. Another flag comes down. Result of the play is a first down. Johnny Lumpkin on the catch for a gain of 11, but again, a flag has been thrown.
Nice little boot pattern there. They had them all open.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 93. These penalties enforce half the distance from the end of the run with an automatic first down.
So first and goal coming up here for Green Bay.
Yeah, he's got it. He's got that right hand on it.
That is the 21st penalty assessed in today's game.
He's not only on it, he's grabbing it. They're getting your quota today, Greg. Now they're getting your quota.
On the handoff, Johnson backing his way towards the goal line, still going, and a touchdown for the Packers.
There's a lot of strong will. They drive us off the ball right at the point. And he just keeps driving. He gets some assistance from behind.
Extra point away from Green Bay, taking their first lead of the game.